Will the record Jordan sale revive the sports card market? Plus, there are some cards that don't need any help because they're already sizzling hot. I tell you which ones in today's Top 5 Cards. My name is Geoff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me and my team as we help you profit from the hobby we all love. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another Top 5 Tuesday. Can you feel it in the air, ladies and gentlemen? Can you feel that the National is just around the corner? Gosh, I am so excited, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. But first, let me remind you that this episode is brought to you by eBay, your #1 spot for cards and collectibles. With the largest inventory of sports cards, from vintage to modern to exclusives you don't want to miss, and the largest community of sellers, eBay is the leading place to buy, sell, and invest your cards. Oh man, I am so excited about the National. And even if you can't make it to Chicago this year, don't worry, because we are going to provide you with incredible behind-the-scenes coverage on this YouTube channel all week next week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and that little bell icon right now for unprecedented behind-the-scenes access at the National, including incredible events like these. StarStock is doing a national box war competition. 64 people are going to be paying $250 each to break boxes on the main stage of the National with massive prizes. I'm going to be emceeing it, and we're going to be covering it on this Sports Card Investor channel. It's going to be amazing. By the way, if you're going to the National and you want to be one of those 64 people, you can buy a spot. StarStock is going to put more information on their website on the breaks page of their website. We are also here at Sports Card Investor sponsoring the Trade Night. The Trade Night is the massive night at the National when everyone gets together to trade cards. And we have sponsored this awesome event that is being put on by Jimmy's Kentucky Roadshow and Card Collector 2. Ryan from Card Collector 2 has put this together along with Jimmy. We're proud to be part of it, and it's going to be taking place at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare Airport in the International Ballroom on the Thursday of the National. So next Thursday, we would love to see you there. We're going to be streaming it live on this channel for 4 hours that Thursday night. It's going to be a ton of fun. And then on top of all of that, we are hosting a private happy hour just for our Market Movers members at the National on Friday of next week. So if you're going to be at the National, if you're subscribed to Market Movers, you're going to get a special invite by email. If you're not subscribed to Market Movers, but you're going to the National, subscribe right now, because we would love to have you at our special members-only happy hour so you can meet me and meet our whole team. It's going to be a ton of fun. So lots of great stuff happening at the National, but also lots of great stuff happening in the sports card world, including a record-shattering sale over the weekend in PWCC's premier auction. The 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan PSA 10 sold for a record-breaking $840,000, more than $100,000 above the previous record sale of that card back in January. And yes, it was a legitimate sale. The buyer of the card is well known and even touted the purchase on Instagram. So it is actually truly a legitimate sale of that card. Now, why did this card sell for so much? Well, part of the reason is this card was in absolute perfect condition. It was recently pulled from a pack, and experts say this is one of the best, most perfect Jordan PSA 10s out there. So that condition was part of the reason why it sold for so much. But the very fact that we had another record-breaking Jordan sale after Jordan cards have slipped quite a bit over the last few months, as many sports cards have, could this help further reinvigorate the market? It's going to be really interesting to watch what happens to the prices of Jordan's PSA 9 cards and other grades of that iconic 86 Fleer card, as well as other iconic cards in general. over the course of the next few weeks, especially with the National about to happen. As I said in my video on Saturday when I was at the Atlanta Card Show, some of the iconic cards, not all, but some have ticked back up a little bit over the past 30 days, including some of Jordan's cards. So it's going to be interesting to see if this record sale can add a little more fuel going into the National, and if the National can add a little more fuel, and if we're going to have some great months ahead for the sports card market. I'm pretty optimistic that we will. My fingers are crossed. Hopefully your fingers are crossed as well. That would certainly be good for all of us. But there are 5 cards that do not need that help because they're already doing quite well. Let's get into them in today's top 5 cards. In the number 5 spot today, the man who might be holding the NBA Finals MVP trophy later tonight, Giannis. If the Bucks can pull it off and win 4 straight games and win the NBA title tonight, then Giannis has to be the MVP, right? This guy has 32 points per game so far in the NBA Finals, 13 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game. He's been absolutely incredible, and he is the primary reason why the Bucks have been dominant these last 3 games. Now, what might surprise you is that Giannis's cards have been on a pretty sharp downward trend over the last few months. Of course, most basketball cards have been, but even though the Bucks were having success in the playoffs, Giannis's cards were still slipping. But that changed over the last couple of weeks, and in particular this past week when the Bucks have had the success that they've had. They've now been trending back up, which places Giannis in the number 5 spot on our list. Here on the screen, I've got his 2003 Prism Base PSA 10 rookie card. And here we're looking over the last 90 days. So you can see that drop that I was talking about through April, into May, into June. Prices are sliding. Then as the Bucks are getting closer to the finals, they kind of start to even out some. But it's these last 7 days where things have started to really pop again for Giannis. If we zoom in on the last 7 days, you can see that his 2013 Prism Base PSA 10 is up over 52% over the last 7 days. This was a card that you could have bought for $1,400 7 days ago. It is a card that will set you back over $2,100 at this very moment. We'll see what happens tonight with the finals. I hope it's a great game no matter what happens, but it's undeniable that Giannis has had a great playoff run. In the number 4 spot today, if you watched my Atlanta Card Show videos from this past weekend, you saw that I was hunting for young NFL quarterbacks whose cards I thought could pop heading into this NFL season. One of those guys who I was buying at the card show was Josh Allen. And Josh Allen's cards have already been starting to move up some as we're approaching this season, landing him number 4 spot in today's list. There's a lot to like about Allen. The Bills went all the way to the AFC Championship game last season before losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. Allen, over the course of the season, threw for over 4,500 passing yards, 37 touchdowns to only 10 interceptions. So he had a wonderful season. And this year, the Bills are back and they're looking to go even further. People are starting to get excited in some cases about football cards leading into this season. We're starting to see a little bit of upwards movement with some players, not all players yet. I suspect we'll see more upwards movement in the weeks ahead. But here we've got Josh Allen's 2018 Prism Base card on the top of the screen and his 2018 Donruss Base card on the bottom of the screen. Now, both of these cards are relatively low population, especially compared to cards printed in the last year or two. These are both from 2018. So there's about 1,000, a little over 1,000 of his Prism Base card in PSA 10 and about 1,900 of his Donruss Base rookie card in PSA 10. His Donruss Base card, it's been moving up a little bit more. If you look at the trend line, they're both trending in the right direction. That Donruss Base card, coming off of a high sale just a couple of days ago, is up 49.6% over the last 14 days. This is a card that most recently sold for around $321. Going back 14 days ago, was selling for $214, and it's been bouncing around a little bit. We'll see if this trend continues or if that was just a high sale. But in general, certain football cards starting to look up a little bit after what has been an off-season lull for many of those cards. In the number 3 spot, a guy who hit it almost literally to the moon in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Vlad Guerrero Jr. put all of the rest of the All-Stars on notice when this guy knocked a crazy homer out of the park and won the All-Star Game MVP award in the process. And very fittingly, he's having a great season. He's batting .322. He's 31 home runs so far this season, 78 RBIs. He is in the hunt for the AL MVP, although of course he's going to have a pretty difficult time overcoming Ohtani for that award. But nonetheless, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is having an excellent season, absolutely living up to the hype and potential that people saw in this guy a couple of years ago. His cards over the last week, they've been rising as well. Here I put 2 of his big cards on the screen. This is his 2019 Topps Update card in PSA 10 condition, and this is his 2019 Topps Chrome Update card in PSA 10 condition. Both bouncing around a little bit, but both trend lines up and to the right. And in fact, his Topps Chrome Update PSA 10 is up over 51% over the last 7 days, and his Topps Update PSA 10 is up almost 65% over the last 7 days. Apparently hitting a major home run at the All-Star Game, it does good things for your card prices. Now, we had Giannis in the number 5 spot today, but actually one of his teammates outdid him and landed in the number 2 spot today, Chris Middleton. And Chris Middleton has also been a major contributor to the Bucks' success this postseason. Middleton's cards are actually up even more than Giannis's cards have been recently, and the reason why is because, well, Middleton's cards were a lot cheaper to begin with. In fact, despite the fact that this guy has been a good player now for several seasons, he has never really received much respect or love from the hobby. However, things have changed this postseason, and his cards have been going up. And here on the screen, I've got Chris Middleton's 2012 Prism rookie card, his base Prism 2012 in both PSA 10 condition and PSA 9 condition on the screen. And we're looking at both of these cards over the course of the last 30 days, and they're both doing very, very well. Still relatively affordable in the grand scheme of things. His PSA 10 card is now $311. His PSA 9 card is now $154. But his PSA 10 card is up over 140% over the last 30 days alone. And his PSA 9 card is up over 120% over the last 30 days alone. Both of these cards have been really, really hot this postseason, putting up big, big gains. So for example, if you got into his PSA 9 card for as little as $70, or there were even some sales of this PSA 9 card for under $50 less than 30 days ago, you would have turned that card into a card that is worth over $150 today. Hopefully that happened to you. Hopefully you're one of the lucky ones out there and invested in Chris Middleton. Before we get to the number 1 card, let me remind you that all of these charts and graphs are from Market Movers, and you can now try Market Movers for free. You can download the Market Movers app on your phone. Just go to the App Store and search for Market Movers. This is different than the Sports Card Investor app. Both are great. Check both of them out, the Sports Card Investor app and the Market Movers app. Give it a try. Do these types of charts and graphs yourself for free. Okay, now it's time for the number 1 card in today's list. And ladies and gentlemen, I am happy. I am happy today about the guy who's number 1 because he is a Florida Gator. You know who I'm talking about? Do you know who I'm talking about? He just won the Home Run Derby for a second consecutive year, Pete Alonso. And Pete Alonso's cards were already heating up over the last few weeks, but when you win back-to-back home run derbies, that's definitely going to help your card prices, and that is in fact what happened with Pete Alonso's cards. And on the screen here, I've got his 2019 Topps base card in PSA 10 and his 2019 Topps Chrome base card in PSA 10, and look at how those cards have been moving up and to the right, and in particular, over the last handful of days here, both of these cards have been going up and up. And his 2019 Topps Chrome base card in PSA 10, still quite affordable. That card's now right around $64. $5, and his normal Topps card in PSA 10 about $47, but both of these cards are up quite a bit. His normal Topps card up almost 20% over the course of the last 30 days, but as his Topps Chrome card, that is up almost 80% over the course of the last 30 days. Both of these cards, there's a ton of sales of both of them. They're quite high population cards. The Topps Chrome card has a population of 5,345. That's a big population. His Topps base card has a population of over 13,000 in PSA 10 condition. So there's a lot of those cards out there, but despite the fact they have been pushing upwards as Alonso took home his second straight home run title and represented my Gators well. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the top 5 today. Man, I hope to see you at the National. But once again, if I don't see you at the National, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell icon, because you're going to want to follow along with me and my team for all the incredible behind-the-scenes footage that we're going to capture. It is going to be an event to watch and remember for a long time to come. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back in a couple of days with our next episode. Take care.